Yeah.
So
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to start us off this evening. We do have a quorum present. Meeting has been duly called and appropriate notice of the meeting has been given. I'd like to start by saying the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'd like to invite one of our National Merit semifinalists, Mr. Jack Coleman, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good evening. So now we open up the meeting for public comments. This is a designated time for community members to address the board on matters before us. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to speak. We welcome your input and encourage you to speak respectfully and professionally. We encourage you to avoid statements about specific students or district staff members in order to protect their rights. All public comments will be included in the recording of the meeting. We also encourage you to ensure that you have followed our district chain of command policy, policy 6.7, before signing up for public comments. Thank you for speaking, and we look forward to your comments. So first on the sign-up sheet for tonight is Mr. Ernie Schroeder. Good evening, Mr. Schroeder.
Do I speak this way?
Yes, sir. Right in that microphone, please, sir.
Okay. The Fellowship of Christian Athletes and the 1014 program are student programs in the Mountain Home Schools. We have joined with them, we being part of the Unless We Pray organization, to sponsor a prayer event before the football game next Friday. It'll be at 5:30 by the Bomber, and I invite, I'll pass out some cards here in a minute, invite you, if you can attend, to stop in before going to the game, just to do this. There are 5 students that are going to be making short prayers, probably about 3 minutes each, and and then 1 teacher that's going to be praying. So it'll be in a 20 to 30 minute activity. We invited Will Rawls to attend tonight. Will is one of the students that's going to be praying for the school board. And we thought it was fitting for him to come and meet some of you folks and to know what it is you do. And so he's been asking questions to learn something about the school board and what they do and how they function. We just want to encourage you, if you could have a chance, to come and participate in that prayer event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Schroeder.
Does anyone wish a card?
Next on our sign-up sheet is Miss Nicole Hobbs. Good evening, Miss Hobbs.
I'm going to pass these out to you guys real fast.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I promise I will tell you what you guys are looking at.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're very welcome. There you go. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Nicole Hobbs, and I'm an 05 grad and the mom to 2 current Mountain Home students. I would like to start off by thanking each and every one of you for volunteering your time to serve as school board members. It is a very important role in our community, and I truly appreciate it. Tonight, I would like to talk to you all about our amazing wrestling program. Last season, we saw 5 of our boys and 4 of our girls medal at state, which I think we can all agree is pretty impressive. These young men and women work hard all year in order to even have a chance at going to state. They are maintaining their GPAs, showing up to every practice, going off to off-season camps, volunteering, and practicing with our Flyers youth program. I'm very proud of these young men and women, and they are very much worth celebrating and bragging about, which is why I would like to invite you all and the community to please come out and tour their current facilities during one of their practices. from exposed concrete, both on the walls and the floors, exposed metal on the handrails, no netting around the viewing area to keep them safe, to the area being so narrow that yesterday during practice, we had 2 of our varsity wrestlers fly through the door of the girls' locker room. And as you can see by the photo I provided, this isn't an isolated event. I'd like to highlight that this is just what the boys are having to work around. The girls are facing their own set of challenges. Board members, our wrestling program is growing. Our kids are starting out in our local Flyers youth program, who currently hold the title of 3-time small team champions and are planning on continuing to wrestle through high school. Myself and the rest of the Mountain Home Bomber wrestling family are expecting great things to happen with our programs. We have several Bomber wrestlers who are eyeing state titles this year, as well as Bombers who are looking to wrestle at the collegiate level. We already have a senior receiving athletic offers, as well as Bomber alums, Nevaeh Bragg, who wrestles for Lyon College, and alum Amelia Fraunfetter, who wrestles for University of St. Mary, out there making a name for themselves. We also can't forget Drew Lindsay, who not only helped the Bombers win the 5A East Conference title, which led them, or the team, later to win the Class 5A state runner-ups, but he also went on to wrestle for the University of Ozarks. We really couldn't be prouder of our Bombers. However, in order for these current and future wrestlers to succeed, they need a safe place to practice, which is why I am, again, inviting you all in the community to come out, tour the wrestling facilities on a Wednesday or Thursday during practice, and keep what you see in mind when talking about all future school plans. I hope to see you all in the stands this winter cheering on our amazing Bombers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hobbs. Can I get a motion for approval of the agenda?
Also
And-
move.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Partney, a second by Ms. Morgan. Is there any discussion? All in favor? It's unanimous. We'll move to reports. We'll start off with academic report by Ms. Judy Lawrence.
That's ready. We're going to operate off my computer for a second, and then we'll switch back to Ms. Kelly. So we're going to start off our academic report. We have some cute photos here. We're going to start by recognizing our National Merit semifinalists. So we have Jack Coleman and Caden Casper. Caden Casper is running right now at the cross-country meet. He was hoping to be here, and he is hoping to still be here. We told him if he can come, just come late, and we would still have to recognize him. But they are 2 of approximately 16,000 semifinalists in the 71st Annual National Merit Scholarship Program. These academically talented high school seniors have an opportunity to continue in the competition for some 6,930 National Merit Scholarships worth nearly $26 million that will be offered next spring. To be considered for a Merit Scholarship Award, semifinalists must fulfill several requirements to advance to the finalist level of the competition, and about 95% of the semifinalists are expected to attain finalist standing. Approximately half of the finalists will win a National Merit Scholarship, earning the Merit Scholar title, which is about as good as you can get. So I just am excited to get to recognize Jack tonight. I'm going to let you, do you have anything you want to say, or y'all have any questions y'all want to ask Jack? He's very good at being on the spot up here because he's been to a lot of our board meetings.
Yeah.
Have anything?
Yeah, I'd like to know a little bit what it takes to get to this point.
So you have to take the PSAT, and you have to score in the top. Each state has a different requirement level score. So for Arkansas, it was about a 220. I think I got around a 225, so I made it above that. And then to make it to the finalist, you have to have an ACT or SAT score that confirms you got a good PSAT score, and that it wasn't like a one-off thing. And you have to write an essay, and then you'll be considered for the scholarships.
Did they give you a topic for the essay?
I started filling out the application. I think it's something about challenge you faced and how you overcome it and grown from it. I'm sure. I'm filling out my college essays, and they ask that a lot, and so that's one of the good ones.
Yeah. Wow. Well done.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
I think you also have to have some letters from
I think you do too. Those are great.
week,
Okay.
then that application
Oh,
before.
that makes
so,
sense.
yeah.
Pretty sure.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
We
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Well done.
Thank you, Leah, for coming. So that's very exciting to focus tonight on that, and we're gonna also recognize our Pinkston Middle School. They've been named an Arkansas Diamond School to watch, if you guys wanna come on up. We've been able to celebrate them, our school board members, I will say, got to go in the building and see the teachers, a few days ago, and I was gonna let them kind of tell you a little bit about this award and what it means, and let you see a couple of these great teachers up here, so.
So it's always cool to get to recognize the staff that always comes to work and puts in the time and effort to do phenomenal things at the school. So you guys coming to the building last week was a huge deal to our people. They loved you going door to door, and they felt very welcomed and appreciated by you, and that was a big deal to them. So it's nice to get them up here tonight. So just a few that wanted to come out here, and just for the numbers, like, I don't know if people always understand, like, if you look at the whole scope of Pinkston, like last year as a whole, one of 72 schools to be an East Program of Influence, one of 13 schools to be a School of Conservation, one of 9 schools to be a Diamond School to watch. That is, you can have a 3-year current distinction to obtain that, and only one of 2 schools were awarded that title in 2025 in the entire state of Arkansas. Like, that's pretty awesome. And it's just a small glimpse of what goes on every day in the building. So, and really that's all we wanted tonight was for, is just to thank you guys for coming. We did get some commemorative pins that I was going to, that I'd like to give you guys. So,
Thanks, sir.
I'll swap that one out for Freddie's.
All right, thank you.
These
Thank
are
you.
great.
So those are
Fantastic.
pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll wear that back.
You get Kelly and Jen and Leah to jump over here. What do they say about telling your story, Miss Dewey? Did I give you?
You did.
Okay.
You did. Tell your story.
Yeah, what do they say about telling your story, right? Spread it wherever you can.
That's right. Tell it for somebody else.
So anyway, those are pretty cool. And like I say, we're just
These are
blessed to
great.
have great people there. And there's still a chance for us. The big award comes in DC at the national conference. And so it's pretty cool to see Pinkston's name at that level as well in the
And
national.
y'all are
So
going to the conference?
we haven't set a team or anything like that yet. We are represented at the state level.
State level.
We got asked to come to that. We actually have 2 teams that got asked that wrote a proposal to speak at the state conference, so that's pretty cool to see Pinkston represented at that level as well. And then there is an expectation to speak at the national, so we'll see what that looks like as well. So anyway, questions from you guys on anything? Enough of me talking, they can answer.
Well, I would like to know what the teachers, what y'all do and what you teach, and how this all played into becoming an Arkansas Diamond Watch.
Well, I'm Ashley Smith. I teach 7th grade literacy. This is my co-teacher. This is Angie Pike. And
Just left you out, Freddie.
I'm in the back.
I'm Coach Pinka. I've taught at Pinkston for 20-some years now. Yeah, this has been a lot. This is a great award. We've had a couple through the years. We had a lot of great administrators and staff over the years, and it's kind of a neat deal to see our staff build on what has been, kind of there before, and I think that's a big thing. I was going to kind of speak on the School of Conservation thing, so I'll let y'all talk about the diamond thing there if you need to. But anyway, great place to work, got great staff, well deserving of that award for sure.
I think definitely, I just came here from Memphis, well, right outside of Memphis, Tennessee, and being a part of this community and this school system, the way that the community actually supports the school system supports the teachers and the kids. For me personally, as a parent, being able to see my boys grow up and be loved on and cared for, and they're more than just a number, that means the world to me. Working with the staff at Pinkston, going into middle school, not everybody always likes middle school, but it has been the best move for us. It has been truthfully revitalizing for me, being able to work with kids and being able to work with such a great staff and a great administration that we know every time that we have anything that they've got our back. So being at Pinkston really truly is, it really is a blessing. And for us to be able to have that time where people can walk in and see what we get to see every day, it's a pretty big deal.
So that's the topic that I get to present on at AAMLE is what it felt like to have a site visit. And so it's kind of eye-opening to watch about 6 educators from all across Arkansas come in. And I don't want to say tear your school apart, but they literally look at every facet of middle school education, from academics to socially, to how you respond to students in need. Like, you just lay it all out there. They see your demographic numbers, scores, like the whole gamut of things, and then the feedback that they provide is probably the best thing. Because going through this, yeah, the award's nice, but if you don't do anything with what the honest feedback that they provide you, then it's just kind of, it's not a wash, but it's not as encouraging. So anyway.
Was there an application process for that, and then they selected and then came and visited the schools?
Absolutely. The writing process is probably the most daunting thing that I have been a part of undertaking in schools. I don't know how many pages it is. It's enormous. And so you're compiling things like 5 years of disciplinary records, and they want to know how many suspensions you have by demographic and scores by subpopulations, and then there's a parent piece to it. So you bring parents up, that you put them in a room with them by themselves, and they drill them. And so now you kind of get to be selected. Yeah, like you want to know who's going before them, but that was one thing they just were glowing about our parents. There's a student component to it, so they want to actually talk to kids and like see, is it legit, or are you just wordsmithing applications? Because middle school kids, I mean, you don't ever know what you're going to get with that. So, so anyway, there's that, and then they interview staff. They go right to that, and they walk classrooms. So, yeah, it's pretty daunting. So maybe that's why there's only 2 that are crazy enough to go through with it, I guess.
Well, walking through your school the other day, I was very impressed with the hallways, the cleanliness of your building. The kids seem to be paying real good attention. I don't know if they had heads up we were coming by or not. But then I got slammed in one of the classes about asking a question about some kind of mathematical problem. I missed it. But anyway.
You did get a cinnamon roll though.
I got a cinnamon roll. I got a reward. But the discipline was, you could see that the kids were under control, not running up and down the hallways. And I really appreciate the work you're doing.
That's cool.
I hear lots of good things about you.
Like, we presented those same pins that you got to our custodial staff, and our cafeteria staff, because they're every bit as much of this as anyone else is. So it's cool to watch it come kind of full circle.
Yeah.
So
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Smith, I've been continually impressed with you and your staff and the work that they've done at Pinkston, right? Every time I look around, I'm hearing something good about Pinkston. So I know we notice, but the community notices as well too. So I've heard good stuff. So, it's results that matter. It's not so much the words, it's the results. And y'all have continually produced the results. So well done, and thank y'all.
That's awesome. Thank you guys. All good?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, come on, Mr. Pinka. Yeah.
This is pretty cool. You wanna tell them about that?
Well, another thing that we were awarded this last year was the Arkansas Game and Fish School of Conservation Award. We had, just to go back a little bit, 4 years ago, we're on year 5 of our outdoor adventure program. That's been a real success, and this last year, Governor Sanders talked about the Department of Education wanted to teach outdoor recreation, outdoor adventures as a elective class at some point. And fortunate to be on the Arkansas Game and Fish Teacher Leader Council. We're working on trying to get standards for that to try to teach that throughout the state of Arkansas. Fortunately for us, Pinkston's way ahead of the curve, and we've kind of, when we started this 4 years ago, we're able to establish this program. So the Game and Fish wanted to put out a challenge, if you will, to schools to attain this School of Conservation award. And there's like 10, 11 different criteria: teaching, hunter education, boater education, a lot of different stuff, art and stuff that is conservation minded. And so we jumped right in there with 2 feet and got after it. And we had our East group worked on a GIS project. Our art teacher, Miss Libby Posey, did a wonderful job. If you ever drive on 13th Street to kindergarten, you see the drains, storm drains. We worked with our friends of the river, donated the materials for that, and our kids got to get out there and come up with a concept that they wanted to come up with and put it on the drains to bring some awareness to downstream pollution. So it was a neat deal. So anyway, we were one of 13 schools in the state of Arkansas that were given that award, and so that was pretty neat. This year, the Arkansas Game and Fish is putting together what they call a generational summit, which basically is a statewide competition for conservation, events, whether it be wildlife identification, plant identification, things, GIS, building and mapping, and really a neat deal is going to happen. So we're kind of looking forward to that. We've got some kids signed up going to compete for that. Our Quiz Bowl competed yesterday. Was it yesterday? Mm-hmm. Yesterday in the regional competition there, and so it's evolving and stuff. So we're excited. Our kids are excited about conservation, and they love the outdoor adventure program, and then we're doing that. We don't have all the working on. We have another project that's going to be starting this fall, and we're going to try to have some mentored hunts for some of our kids in our program. And we've been working with Miss Dewey and Heather Hatman about, we purchased a freezer, and we're going to have, the meat shop is going to be working with us to catch some ground deer and stuff. We're going to process that for our families in need, and that's through the Arkansas Hunters Feeding Hungry program. So there's a lot of things going on at Pinkston this fall, and it's all good, and it's all buys into just another kind of the depth that we have, and teaching, and kids can be involved in a lot of different things. So, but anyway, it was a great honor to be a part of that, and we have great support. Our administrators have done it for 4 or 5 years, and so that's a good program, and it looks like one that's going to be spreading throughout Arkansas, pretty good. But we're way ahead of the curve.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Wow.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Fantastic.
Yes, yeah. We had a fundraiser in the spring there at ASU Mountain Home, and they raised like $12,000 for the program, and so it was a considerable amount. We didn't realize it was going to be that much, but but it is. But they have the Arkansas Hunters Feeding Hungry have a program where they provide snack sticks for schools in need, for backpack programs and things like that. So they'll take and process those, and our kids are, we've got 2 or 3 schools that are going to be involved in that. So those kids are going to be getting meat sticks in their backpack program. So it's a neat deal.
It's fantastic. Everything we all do is for the children. It's for our students here. And boy, our middle school students are so fortunate. Like,
Yeah.
I want to go back to middle school, right?
Yeah.
Like, it sounds fantastic.
There's
So-
the only person to ever say it.
Just for a little while.
A day.
There's
But-
actually a waiting line to get in
Yeah.
class.
Happy for the mentor.
Yeah.
So there might be a waiting class to get, waiting list to get in. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I did forget to make one announcement that Ms. Hughes, our gifted and talented coordinator, wanted me to add along to the National Merit piece. They are offering a PSAT test prep session free of charge at the high school on October the 4th. And we have Mr. Engel, Mr. Drury will be leading that training session. So that's another exciting piece to share that we're trying to help our students with that. So my final part of the night, we have a video for you prepared. We're going to just do a little glance at our PLC process in the district. And we have this ready to go. Hi, I'm Judy Lawrence. I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Mountain Home Public Schools. I'm honored today to show you a behind-the-scenes look at what our educators are doing weekly to ensure student success. Teachers in each content area and grade level are part of collaborative teams, which we call CTs. Our CTs meet together weekly to monitor student progress within grade level standards as part of a professional learning community, also known as a PLC. A PLC is an ongoing process in which educators work collaboratively in recurring cycles of collective inquiry and action research to achieve better results for the students they serve. Our PLCs evaluate 4 critical questions. What essential knowledge should students know and be able to do? How will we know when each student has learned the essential knowledge? How will we respond if students don't learn the essential knowledge? How will we extend learning for students who are already proficient with the essential knowledge? PLCs look different in each building, but today I'm going to share a bit about how the teachers at Hackler Intermediate School utilize their collaborative time together.
Okay, greetings from Hackler Intermediate School. I am Kristen Goodwin. I'm the building principal here at Hackler, and currently we are in room 202, which is where we hold all of our PLC meetings and CT meetings throughout the week with CT teams. One thing that we always remember and talk about when we're meeting in CT groups is that it's a work in progress. And this room is a work in progress as well, but we have tried to make it a space where when we meet, we can get all of the instructional work done that we need to do and have resources at our fingertips to guide our work. So one of the things that we've added this year is we have our reading success plans, and that's to help us guide the growth of students and let us know how we're progressing. We have that for 4th grade, 5th grade, and 3rd grade. We also have our group norms, and this is just how we do business within our meetings and with our teams, and it's norms that we have all agreed to and that we adhere to. We also have our vertical standards for literacy, and we have those posted for kindergarten through 5th grade, and that lets us know what kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd grade is working on. It also allows us to know what we're working on within the building and just to see that progression. The State Department put out a great tool for us last year, and that is our at-a-glance Atlas targets. We have those posted as well as a quick resource that we can look at to again help guide our work. We also have a complete calendar of the school year so that we know if we're going to be missing days or if we're going to be out, just to help with all of those instructional plans. So you may have heard about CT groups or standards-based report cards or all of the things happening within the district. So this just gives you a little bit more of a view of what that work actually looks like and the instructional planning that is going on for all our students across the district. Reading at Hackler this year is an all-hands-on-deck approach. And so you might be thinking, do special teachers, our librarian or music teachers, computer lab teachers, they absolutely play an active role in everything that we do. From helping us build data walls, to implementing AR plans, We have a huge accelerated reader push this year that we are so thankful for. That has happened. A huge thanks to our librarian, Mrs. Thompson, and we're so excited about reading taking off at Hackler this year. So huge shout out to our special teachers because we could not do this work without them.
Thanks to Mrs. Goodwin for sharing the difficult but important work your teachers are doing to support their students. When you look at the work being done in these meetings, it is clear to see that our educators are professional practitioners who have made a thoughtful commitment to seeing their students grow. This is not easy work, but it is rewarding for both students and teachers, and I can't say enough how much I appreciate everyone involved. Our teachers are second to none, and their commitment to the PLC process is evidence that they are committed to providing an excellent education to every student, every time. That's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
Thank you, Ms. Goodwin's here. Thank you. She was our helper with that, and I gotta brag on her because like she did that first take. She did that. Mine take a few. If I thought I knew I was gonna have to do videos before I took this job, anyway. So I do want to share one thing. I know we're about to wrap up, but I'm going to be sharing to your emails what we call our district dashboard. And what you're going to see when I share this with you is every building has a tab, and this is just a place where we're organizing some of the work. You'll be able to see agendas for our collaborative teams. You'll see essential standards and learning targets. We do have data walls on these. We have those restricted because that is a lot of student information. If there's something you need to know, you can always reach out to Ms. Dewey or myself, but everything else should be open. You may run in, we're trying really hard to have links, every link shareable.
You find one.
But you may find one. If you come across, just request access. But the data walls are the ones that we have restricted. But you'll see every building has their plan of action on here, and you can see when you click on the agendas, you'll see a lot of information about the meetings they're having. This lets our administrators kind of see at a glance the work that's going on. Ms. Dewey and I are able to see if we're not able to attend the meetings, which obviously we can't be at every meeting because I'm going to show you our master schedule. I have this for you as well. But this lets us keep up with things, and we are able to go in and out as much as possible. So every building has their tab. You'll be able to see that. Sorry, wrong thing. Pinkston has theirs. Theirs is nice and concise there, but junior high and high school, and Guyberry. And I was excited. The Guyberry pictures and the slideshow are really amazing. They're doing a lot of really great work. They're looking at every student's individual data together as a team. So Mr. Rose is here. They're doing some really great things there within their collaborative teams as well. So the last thing I'll share with you, I do have a master PLC schedule. What's really neat about this, and I'll click on this on the screen, is you can just see how many different meetings are happening, and these are happening weekly. So you can see by the day of the week which teams are meeting. Our administrative team meets every other Tuesday for an hour. We call that our instructional leader, CT. And our media specialists are meeting monthly. They have an afternoon a month that they're getting together to collaborate as well. We're trying to just include as much as we can. So do you have any questions or comments? I will share a digital copy of this with you as well, but I did just want you to have the paper version. Any questions? Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Lawrence.
Fantastic.
Next, we'll move to financial reports. Ms. Donna Harper.
The first report is the statement of changes in fund balance, and we ended the month of August at $14,228,292.38. And that is a little down from last year, but we did a little digging to figure out why. And one of the reasons is our flood control revenue. Last year we got it in August. This year we have received it in September. So that's part of that. That's 125,000 of that 200 that we're down. So, does anybody have any questions on that page? If you'll look at Fund 2218, our declining enrollment, that's in the negative, and that will be in the negative until we receive the money from that. That is a portion of the bus, the used bus that y'all approved.
So that check, we've already cut that check so that they're ready to roll, but that's a portion of that.
Okay, on to the next page. This is a statement of revenues and expenditures. Our total revenues for the month of August was $3,214,037.23. And our total expenditures were $3,497,165.82. Our revenues were a little down from August of 24, but our expenditures were a little up. So, and that's just kind of timing probably of things. They'll fluctuate like that. Any questions on that page? Okay. Our monthly operating fund balance for the month of August is $8,075,084.01. And as you can see, that's down about $198,000 from last year. And again,
That
timing.
flood, part of that's that flood.
Part of that's that
control,
flood.
The same as before on the other page.
Okay, any questions on that one? Okay. Then we've got the statement of changes in the activity funds, and we ended the month of August at $523,983.44. And that's very close to where we ended last year. Any questions there? And then the documents after that are the supporting documents that we include, the statement of changes in fund balances and the check register for the month of August.
Any questions for Ms. Harper? Thank you, Ms. Harper. And next, we'll go to enrollment report from Ms. Dewey.
So our enrollment as of when this was printed is 3,662 students, so it is down as expected. There were no surprises to us with that. You know, love to have a few more kids, but that's where we are. I did have an opportunity on this topic. I did have an opportunity yesterday to attend a meeting with the superintendents throughout our co-op area. Of all the superintendents there, and I believe there were 12 to 13, all but 2 have declining enrollment. Some, when you're looking at schools like Midland, and they've lost 40 kids, that's 20%. So we'll be watching closely. We're still okay, but we will be watching. I have been looking at homeschool numbers. They're not up. They're right about where we were last year. Actually a little down, about 30 down from where we were last year. Now that'll increase throughout the school year, but
I read a report that kindergarten numbers nationally
Yes, ma'am.
are down.
Also, and they said birth rates overall
Way down.
way down. So some of this is to be expected. Some is, due to some changes in funding as far as our opportunities. But I'm not sure it's affecting us as much as just students not in the area to start kindergarten. And you'll notice it's interesting. I think Mr. Booth, you and I talked about watching the numbers. You'll watch from last year as they transfer to the next grade level, you'll see where the decline is. We always start gaining in that 6th to 7th grade range, even with low class sizes, just due to opportunities. So families that are homeschooling might choose to come and do band, or come and enroll in some athletic opportunities. And our homeschool students do that. That's those dual enrolled that you see. listed on the bottom.
Just as you said, when you look from, hey, what was grade 2 last year to grade 3 this year, in those early grades, you often see increases. It seems like the biggest drop is almost in high school. So when we have an 11th grader who is not with us for a senior year the next year, do we have an understanding of why?
I'm glad you
Yes.
asked me that question. Those are also early grads.
Okay.
So we had 20 plus early grads last year. So if a student graduates as an 11th grader, they would not go on, of course, as a 12th grader. So some of that can
Sure.
be explained that way.
I don't think that's good for those students.
But thank you for asking me that.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a good question.
That's a good, bad scenario.
It is, but they do count towards our graduation rate. That's a positive. You know, we do not get the funding for their last year, but they're graduated, and that's the most important.
Yeah.
It's best for the student.
What's best for the student, that's exactly right.
Any questions? Okay, student transfer update from Stewie.
So if you remember, we have not met for 6 weeks. And our first meeting was about a week and a half before school started. So the numbers I'm giving you were all actually, I think all but one were before school started. And it was 9 out and 4 in, but that was all prior to school starting. So we really haven't had a lot of action with transfers over the past few weeks at all.
Okay. Next, we'll do the facilities report. Mr. Chris Knight.
I wanted to update you all on where we're at with the Guyberry roof. Attached some photos there so you guys can see. They're on the second page. We flew a drone over so you can see how far they've come. They're really pretty much, they're very close to it. Almost, I think 80% is done, and they are up there working very hard today and tomorrow. They're actually trying to tell me that they're going to be done in a couple weeks. When you talk to the architect, he is the one saying, let's be safe and say the end of October. Which that, everything has to go perfect if you're going to get the next couple weeks with weather and all the materials and stuff. So, but that's one of the reasons that takes so long, and the architect prices cost as much as they did. As if you look at that compared to like the junior high, you have like 3 different roofs there. You have your metal, your shingle, and your TPO laid over top of the shingles. And in fact, they put the wrong color shingles on the first time and had to rip them off.
Just certain places, right?
Yeah, we got a mixed. They mixed.
Got a little mixed, little mistake.
Even with that, they're doing pretty well.
Are they on budget?
They're not allowed to be off budget.
Okay.
We've already paid.
Other than when we did a change form for the plywood, so 19,000, I think.
It was under.
Yeah.
It was under.
Which the state will pay half of. Any questions?
It
Sounds
looks
like a
really
company-
nice.
It does look really good.
Really
Sounds like a
good.
company we might use again.
I think that's one of the reasons they severely underbid it. And I know we had a couple of things that were a little bit of a rough start, which I don't think was anything but bad luck. But so far,
It looks.
it looks good.
The front
They've-
looks
they've been
fantastic.
good to
when you
work
drive by.
with. They're working super hard,
Looks
and
really good.
we'll see how it does when it rains.
Fingers crossed. It's
Nope.
supposed to
We
rain
won't know if we
next
use it
week.
again.
Well, we need the rain, but the rain holding off has really helped, it sounds like.
It would be nice.
To
for us.
get 'em
Yeah,
finished.
that's true.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. Next, safety and security report by Mr. Eddie Helmer.
How's everyone tonight?
Good evening, sir.
Fantastic.
So I just wanted to give you a quick report on safety and security. And first of all, I want to say this has been a great start of the year. I don't know if y'all remember last year, it was my first year, and it was a pretty rough start. This has been an awesome start to the year. And I just want to give a little shout out to our administrators in each one of our buildings that they do take the safety of our kids very, very serious as far as walking the halls, making sure interior doors are shut, making sure that there's no prop doors on the exterior as well. I have walked every building at certain times, just walking around the buildings, and I have yet to see a prop door. So that's a shout out to not only the administrators, but our school resource officers that are in those buildings every day as well. So, all right, we'll just go to security film here. As you know, that we had a project that started last year, probably the end of last year, kind of went into the summer, where we did a security laminate in the foyers of our buildings. And what we did, and I really wanted to kind of upgrade how the exterior doors look to our buildings. So if you been there, you know how. And I will tell you this, I didn't know there was a certain bomber blue.
There is.
And so Jennifer really helped me with that, because this project started and they started putting it on, and I got a phone call that says, you got to come down here and look at this. Well, it wasn't bomber blue, it was like LSU purple. And I said, you got to take that off. We can't do that.
Multiple reasons you
Yeah.
can't have that.
So y'all have copies of that, and I think I've had a lot of compliments on it. It looks
great.
really good.
nice.
You want to just go through some?
Not only does it upgrade the look of the building, but it also provides a security purpose as well. Where we can lock down, it can't be broken out. You can't see in, but you can see out. So it does provide that layer of protection. So I thought it looked really good, and I'm really proud of how that turned out. So thanks to Jennifer she kind of said in some meetings, it's like, no, that's not it. No, that's not it. I'm like, oh my goodness.
And
That's a big deal.
Mr. Helmer, this was through our state security grant?
Yes, this was through the state grant that funded this project. So anyway, on to the next one. Y'all can look at those. So early this year, at the beginning of the year, I came to Allison. I said, Allison, I've got a 3/4 ton truck, and is there something else I can drive? And so last year, Steve let me drive a tech vehicle, but he said, hey, I need that back. I'm like, oh man, I can't even afford the gas to put in this thing, driving everywhere. So she did check around, and she said, Ed, we just don't have any. I said, well, do you mind if I can go see if someone would donate one? And she blessed that. So, and we are very fortunate to live in a community where we have individuals that care about our kids and our students. And Clay Maxey donated a car for safety and security.
Wow.
So I'm pleased to announce that, and what I'm going to do with it, I've got a project going with Pinkston art class. They are going to design a wrap for it. So that's something to get the kids involved. That's one thing he asked. He said, I want the kids involved to design that wrap. So that's what's going to happen. So right now, part of the thing was like, I know it's a safety and security car, but Mitch took it to Rolla this afternoon. So it can be used for that as well. So anyway, any questions on that? So one other thing I want to mention is that we have started our lockdown drills, district-wide lockdown drills. We've done a couple of campuses so far, and they've gone really well. So I just wanted to mention that real quick. Y'all have any questions?
Do we have a K-9 still
Yes.
on?
We do have a K-9 that's at Guyberry with Officer Campfield.
Okay.
And but I've heard that it's probably one more year and they're going to retire that K-9, and the PD is not going to fund that anymore. So we might have to look at something different. But anyway.
If we were to ever need that service, would we just use the police department after?
Yeah, but the only thing different that
retired.
a school K-9 is they do marijuana.
Okay.
The street, the PDs, they don't do that. So because it's medical purposes, if you learn on the cars, so that's the only difference there. So we're trying. I think they're fighting for it.
Good.
I think the SROs are fighting for that. So because that was about 15 years ago when I started that program, and I'd hate to see it go as well.
I wonder if there are grants, additional grants up there.
I think you got a car donated for that too, didn't you? Or for Bomber?
I got everything donated for Bomber, not a car, but I got everything donated because the PD wasn't going to do it. He said, if you want to do it, you got to raise the money. So I went out and did that. Yeah, to start that K-9 program at the school.
How much does a K-9 cost?
It's about $8,000 to $9,000.
And that includes fully trained.
Fully trained, yes.
It's not crazy expensive.
And it's not crazy.
No.
And there might be someone in the community that might want to step up. So,
Now, prior to that program, didn't they just outsource it through the PD?
Yeah.
To the schools, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's a one-time cost every.
it's a one-time cost, and the
Every-
PD covers the vet and the food.
And over
So
10 years, how much,
You get,
how much service do you get out of
you
it?
get 8 to 10
8
years,
to 10 years.
yeah, to work a dog.
Bomber's retired at Eddie's house.
Yeah, Bomber is about 16 years old, and we went for a walk last night, and me and her both were limping when we got home.
So 8 to 9,000 over 8 to 10 years, that's less than 1,000 a year. $800 or $900 a year for a dog.
And
That
the thing
sounds-
is, the dog is used a lot.
Yeah, that's a tremendous deal, actually.
So, and it's just another thing that we can use to keep our kids safe and keep what we don't want in our buildings.
Sure. Well, Mr. Helmut, you've done a lot of projects here in a short amount of time, from security film and door locks, weapons detection systems. Do we have anything coming up that you'd like to share with us, or
Well,
not?
the one thing that that we are doing is, I know we talked and is gating off the back parking lot of the high school, where that is the only school that anyone off the street can drive around our campus. And so we're looking at ways that we can do that as well, but that's a project. I know that we have the material for one gate. I've talked to Chris about that, and I think that's in the works to put up one gate right now. Then we'll have to look at the other gate and how we want to work that.
Okay.
What's that road used for during the day?
Well, so during the day, it's used for our buses parked back there. Maintenance uses it. Technology uses it. Some teachers park back there, but we have caught people that drive back through there. We have stopped people that take a shortcut to want to go somewhere. So we just don't really want anyone that on our campuses that's not supposed to be on our campus. And I know the high school is just a totally different animal when you're talking about security and keeping people out that just don't want to be driving up and just show up.
We're waiting on COPS grant. Fingers are still crossed about
Yes,
that.
yeah,
We'll build that out this summer.
Yeah. And when is that? When are we supposed to hear about
October.
that? In October. So we did apply for a COPS grant. Man, I hope we get it. So what we're going to do with that, another project is replacing our radio system within our district, where we can communicate district-wide from here to Nelson Wilkes. That's putting a repeater up, and where we can communicate if something needs to be.
So
just
fingers crossed.
Yeah.
It's a
So-
pretty large grant.
Yeah, so I had
we're
a
hopeful.
company come out, and we tested it. He put up a repeater, and I went to every school, and it worked perfect. And I'm hoping we get that, because that's something we really need.
Sure.
So what's the cost of that? What would that?
It's like-
It was
high.
It was high.
Like 150 plus.
Yeah, but it was. I wanted a lot of radios. I want a lot of things with that. So I kind of went high. I mean, we can always lower it, but I kind of started at the top. So I hope we get that COPS grant. So, and the other,
80%.
that could be used for our crisis team. One thing I'm doing with our crisis team that I'm changing, we used to meet up here at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, it's not being really productive. So I'm going to each building, and we're going to do a tabletop exercise with each crisis team in their building. And that tabletop is, I'll give them a scenario, and then we'll talk through that scenario. How do we respond? And so I was telling Allison that. She said, why can't we do that here at central office? And so we're going to do that here at central office. What would be our responsibilities as a staff here at the central office? So
The radios that you're talking about doing, will the local police be able to listen into those, or they're just
No.
private lines?
no. So what police have is AWIN, and we can't do that with those radios. Now, it can be with our buses, we can put that on there. where they can talk with the buses as well. But, you know, mainly this is a thing where in case of an emergency, in case of something happens, it is immediately. You're not trying to get on your phone and text somebody, or someone's behind Hackler that can't communicate to the office because it's not getting through.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that we get these radios.
Fantastic.
Me too.
Anything else?
Thank you, Mr. Helmut.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And thank you to Clay Maxey for that vehicle.
Yes,
So,
yeah, we'll be
fantastic.
doing, once it gets wrapped and everything gets done, we'll be doing a
Sure.
press release on that and thanking Clay Maxey. He is one individual that does a lot for our district, a lot for our community.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, let's move to board action items. We have one item on the agenda tonight, and that's a request to approve a budget adjustment by Ms. Donna Harper.
We brought the original budget for approval on August the 7th, and that was a little early for us because we don't close out the year. The final close is not until the end of August. So what we're asking you to approve here is our final Cycle 9 report that was sent to, we'll send that into the state on Cycle 9. That's the closeout of last year. And then after we do that, then we go back in and rework our numbers for the budget for this year. And so all of the highlighted green are all the numbers that we had to change or adjust just a little bit. And then if you'll go to the second page of that, there's a couple of numbers in purple, and those were just updated today. We had some changes in a couple of our federal funds that we got notice on, so we changed those. But these are just adjustments due to, we repulled the salary numbers after we ran the September 10th payroll, and we rework our numbers, and that's what this is the result of, is reworking those numbers. And just to let y'all know, you know, we were hoping to come in, you know, a little better on our bottom line. But one of the things that we weren't anticipating when we originally did the budget is the state increased our contribution for the health insurance $30 more than what we originally thought. So $30 a month times, you know, 12 months times about 400 people.
Plus
So,
the 80 that we already knew was
Yeah.
gonna happen, so it's 110 per person per month.
so that took a large.
Did that cover the rate increase?
Our
That
employees-
covered the rate increase for this year.
Okay.
And it's my understanding that they have frozen the premiums for our staff for this year and next year. So, if there is a rate increase next year, it may be on us again.
We're hopeful that
district.
the state will take that increase, that's what we've been told. They will take that 110 per employee per month. They're gonna take that back after July 1, supposedly. And then our per student foundation funding goes down $100+ dollars. So, yeah,
And that's the first time they've ever decreased that.
we've never seen a decrease in per student funding, but it's okay.
Blue Cross has gone to the insurance board 8 times for rate increases and been denied 8 times.
So I did talk to Jason Nazarenko. He was pretty frustrated about a lot of things with insurance yesterday, not just the health insurance, but the property insurance. So he said he promised he was staying on top of it and had made some contacts, and you know, one can't change it all, but there's some voices in Little Rock that are really trying to help us.
So we're asking that you approve the attached
Cycle 9 AFR and the budget adjustments for fiscal year 26.
I make a motion, we approve the budget adjustments as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Ms. Morgan, a second by Mr. Butler. Is there any discussion? Ms. Harper, without looking back at the previous ones, do you remember off the top of your head, is this a net increase or a net decrease to the budget? And I didn't go pull
It's-
the original one.
It is a decrease.
It's a slight decrease?
Yep, just barely.
Yes, ma'am.
I had
But-
30, my numbers are, it's about 30,000 less than what you all saw the last
Previous
time,
time.
and we will just keep chipping away.
Okay.
We will be watching numbers as close as we
Yeah,
can.
we will just, we're watching everything.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor? That's unanimous.
Thank you, Mr.
At this point, we'll move to board discussion.
You know, we've heard a lot presented and fabulous things on the academic side. I'm not gonna lie, and I feel like everyone in this, around this table is a little distressed at the wrestling team's report. And I'm gonna say this once again, we have a high school facility that cannot support positive student outcomes. And the only place that can help us is the community. And I want to say it again, there was with the aviation program, our high school building can't support that program on the high school campus. This is in 2 board meetings in a row. We have been presented issues that our high school facility cannot support positive student outcomes. And that's why we're here.
Where does the wrestling team practice?
The girls and the boys are upstairs on the landing at the gym.
Oh, okay.
You know, I was talking to Ms. Hobbs today about, and I don't even know, I think, told you some things maybe you didn't even realize. Our teams go off campus to practice a lot of the times. There's just not room. Even our high school boys and girls basketball teams are going to the junior high because right now it's volleyball. Of course, dance is off, cheer is off, you know, softball, baseball, that makes sense for them not to be, but wrestling could go to Guy Berry, but the second they do that, they're taking a spot for the Flyers, the little guys practice facility, and you have to roll mats out, and I didn't realize when you're rolling mats up and down, that can tear them up.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's right now, my goal would be to help make that spot as safe as possible. And I am meeting with Ms. Hobbs on, what day, Tuesday, with Mr. Husky. We're meeting up there to just look at some things and just see if there's anything we can do just to get us by.
As a teacher in the 2020, through 2022, and prior to that, I experienced with my high school and junior high GT students for GT seminar at junior high, we had to meet in the library. I mean, we really don't have enough classroom space. High school, I would share a room. One time I was in this Crawford or Siemens room, like our GT students for their seminar and meetings, large enough that I could assemble them all. ESOL, I have been the last couple of years doing ESOL testing, and some buildings have space available. Other buildings, we really have to plan and try to find, we would just displace a teacher so that I could use their room to test students. I've personally experienced it, so I agree. Like, we do need a new facility, additional space.
I remember one year, they actually had some type of class in the lobby of the gym. They had, they just didn't have space.
We've had to do testing in lobbies and
You've done
band halls.
Dunbar lobby, I know you tested.
Yeah, AP testing.
I mean, I'm proud we're able to to be creative
Mhm.
and find the
We
spaces.
are, I
But it
mean,
also, but that's
Teachers
because
and
you need
administrators
to
are
be
problem solvers, but
creative. You have to be with the current situation.
I think the issue that keeps coming to play, education is not the same as it was 30 years ago. I mean, it's not the same when Mr. Butler was in high school, and I refer back to that because he's the same age as my children. And it for sure isn't the same as when I was in school. And we can't live the dream of, I wish it was like it was, because it's out of the box. You have technology, you've got different career choices. I mean, I still, when I think we've got this aviation program, and every time you turn on the news, where there's lack of controllers, there's lack of pilots, there's lack of, we've got to face the future, and we have to put programs out there where our students, we want them to stay here, but bottom line, we want them to be able to get a job somewhere that they can make a living to support their families. So we've really got to, as a community, get down to the nuts and bolts. What do we want? What do we want to provide for our students? And I guess the thing that you look back and reflect on is what was provided for each of us. And no one hesitated to provide me a good education in Little Rock. No one hesitated. I think Mountain Home can rally. I think we can provide for our children.
This just underscores the problem, and we know it, whether it's wrestling or other extracurriculars or ROTC that doesn't have the space that they need. And when you go to the scholarship award ceremony this spring and you see the really big numbers, most of those come out of the ROTC scholarships that, from our students. So the problem, we're well aware of the problem, but this definitely underscores it. It also, highlights the importance on us getting this right, going forward, right? So whether it's multifaceted, and we've already said, hey, this is the basic footprint, this is the basic plan, but then how are we going to fund it? How are we going to community engage? The whole process on moving this forward from right here from the beginning. It's very important. The need's real. So.
Unfortunately, these same issues, these are some of the same issues we had the last time we had the election when the millage got defeated. Had that passed, we'd be almost in that building.
You'd be in the first part.
Yeah. And, but it didn't.
So we got a new chance, right?
Yep.
New shot.
I do like the design of the new, what we came up with better than the old design, but it's going to end up costing the same amount of money.
But I agree. I think, these are some of the same problems we've faced for the last 20 years too.
Sure.
That haven't changed. I remember our baseball team used to practice up with that same.
That's what we were talking about.
I remember us trying to have basketball practice and then the baseball team trying to have hitting practice because they didn't have the facilities, And so, I think we're in a situation where we are displacing a lot of students, and to Molly's point, I think getting the community to understand the struggle that is on our educators, on our coaches, on our administrators, giving them the knowledge of that would and how we do that and how we present that is very important, because I think we have a community that if they are given that knowledge and understanding of that, will step up and support our students and our athletes and our administrators and teachers. But it is a problem that faces us, and hopefully we can get it solved, because I know those kids take pride in what they do, and I think it is very important to try to address this for every student that we have. And so that is our goal, and I think part of that is expressing that to the community and allowing them to see some of the struggles that you guys face and putting them in those positions as if, hey, if they were the teacher, if they were the coach, or if they were the athlete, what would they do? And so I think that education, falls on us and then umbrellas down from there. And I think that's a goal we all share, and hopefully we can get that accomplished.
I think too many people in the public look at this as an athletic thing. It's
Absolutely.
not.
It's bigger than that.
Yeah, it's bigger than that. It's
And
a
it needs to-
student issue. Where are we going to put these students? And they say, well, we're losing students. Yeah, we're losing. We've lost students, but we've not gained space.
we don't, I mean, I spoke about classroom space, also labs, Ms. Rawls in the floor with a microscope on a chair. We've got to do better. I did prefer the space that was added in the first building schematic because I feel like it's a safety issue. If we can have as many of our extracurriculars on the main campus site with more eyeballs of certified personnel, that was a big safety issue for me.
Any other discussion? Okay, let's go to superintendent update, Ms. Dewey.
So tonight, most of you know that this is kind of fun. Tonight alone, there is not only the board meeting, but we have kindergarten open house, junior high football at the stadium, cross-country meet in Mountain Home, 7th through 12th grade volleyball games in town, tennis matches in town, and our high school football team is in Rolla. So that's just tonight. I'm going to give a shout out to Mr. Husky. He's not here, but he's done a fantastic job organizing the administrators and the medical to make sure there is somebody at every single event. So shout out to him. He said he's been working on it for a couple of weeks, and I'm sure he has been. I did have the opportunity today to attend a presentation along with Mr. Smith and Ms. Goodwin at ASU Mountain Home at the Shed. Our 5th and 6th graders and middle schoolers, I think from Flippin and Cotter. Was it just Cotter? Cotter North? Okay, Mountain Home Christian Academy. Fun, upbeat presentation, encourage students to make good choices, stay drug-free. Kind of was built on that drugs are an illusion of making things feel good and be good. That's just a crutch. PACE Coalition in Baxter County, some of you all have heard about that group. It's prevention and awareness, and they had received some significant grants. Juvenile Services is part of that as well. And our own Seed Club, and that's students educating against drugs, and they're a group of high school students. And those high school kids were there encouraging and being role models for our younger kids today. It was fantastic. Really proud that we were able to do that, and I'm sure their afternoons, man, they had them pumped up. So I'm sure it was a little exciting at the buildings because those kids were drumming and magic tricking, and they were pumped up. I told you about going to Melbourne. Tomorrow morning, however, we will host Chamber Leadership Group here. Tomorrow's their education day, so they'll be here at the building. I'll do an overview. I think most of you have seen my show that I've been using that I was able to start at the Chamber's big education breakfast. It'll be the same PowerPoint and information I'll share with them. Then they're actually going to go, they wanted to see the Big Top, infamous Big Top area. So Mr. Knight, as in Chris Knight, will meet us up there and give them a tour of that area and kind of show them what things look like in that building. Then we're going to head over to Guy Berry, where they've requested to visit. Mr. Rose puts on a good visit over there and shows folks what alternative education can and does look like in our area. Just a few dates. September 29th will be a special board meeting where we're going to focus on academics. And I'm actually very excited about that because we've had a lot of work sessions on facilities, but as I have said several times, and most people have heard me say, academics is the cornerstone of what we're doing. It is why we're here, and that will be the focus of that work session. We'll talk about school letter grades, which I believe will be coming out tomorrow. So we'll be excited to show those and see those throughout the state tomorrow as far as their school report cards. October 6th, special lunch meeting at Nelson Wilkes Heron. That'll be a lot of fun. That's our kickoff also to homecoming week. I know that Miss Morgan, with her position as Education Foundation Director, has a big event on Thursday night with the Night of Honors. Ball game on Friday, parade on Wednesday, and then on Saturday will be the Athletic Hall of Honor. That week is packed, and it always is, and it's a lot of fun. And then on the 14th, our regular board meeting. So that one, remember, it is on Tuesday, and I appreciate y'all making that allowance. I have decided not to travel that week, just with conferences and just things how they are. I think I'm going to stay here, but we'll go ahead and have that meeting on the 14th since it has been published. So I appreciate y'all being flexible with that. But we'll go ahead and have something on Thursday with the annual report to public at 5 o'clock in Dunbar. And we may try to live stream that, because I know a lot of folks can't always attend. Ms. Lawrence looks really excited about the live stream. But that is also parent-teacher conference night. And so it kind of fits, but kind of doesn't. We'll go ahead and get that date out soon, so if people want to come, they won't schedule their conference around that time for their student. I'm out of
And
breath.
is that an official meeting for us as well?
It is not.
No.
No,
okay.
ma'am.
It used to be a board
We
meeting.
have done it during the
Combined.
board meeting.
Mhm.
The past couple of years, we've been doing it. We've done it at a PTO meeting.
Okay.
We've done it in Dunbar. Last year, we did it in Dunbar. The year before, I can't remember where we had it. But
Change the guidelines on that.
the guidelines are not, it's more of a overview. There aren't even really specific things you have to include in the report to public. Because if you look at our website, it's all there. You know, they have definitely upped the requirements on the website. And so everything has already been reported that we're gonna show folks again, because we're supposed to, and we will. So,
Okay.
sorry, but that was
Yeah.
a lot.
Thank you, Ms. Dewey. Thank you all for being here this evening, both in person and online. We really appreciate it. At this time, we will move into executive session for personnel, resignations, retirements, and transfers.